everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be doing another get ready with me with another lovely palette out of my collection so that I can give it more love and attention. Just before we get started though, let me remind you that you can subscribe and just do a little like. It helps my channel. I'm only starting and I don't have much pretension, but it is always nice to see if people are enjoying my videos and let me know about it. So I haven't done my base on camera, clearly. I wish I had that beautiful skin. I do not. So I used a bit of the satin veil from VDL into my kind of like T-zone and anywhere that I had a texture or pores. And to be honest with you, at the moment it's almost like all over the face because I have been having a lot of pimples and things. So yeah, that was it. And then I mixed in a tiny bit of the VDL Lumilayer Primer this time with my Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And I have shade Barcelona, I believe. Is it? Can't remember now. I do believe, yeah, I have shade Barcelona, which is funny since I, as you might know, or not, actually, I do live in Barcelona, which is fun. Anyhow, so yeah, I set that up and added an extra bit of coverage with the Studio Fix from MAC. I use the NC25 shade and I applied that with a Real Techniques buffing brush. Okay, it is quite heavy coverage. I mean, right now I do have very bad skin, so I want to make sure that I use full coverage, which I don't normally do on a normal base, like a regular basis. But I mean, right now I feel more confident in having a bit of help in the coverage department. So I used that to buff it in and really cover everything that I wanted covered. And then I buffed it with my Chicuhodo X Beautylish brush, which is like a really fluffy and soft brush, and I really buffed it in to try and avoid too much cakiness, which obviously you can get when you use a powder foundation to set your foundation, which is not really what it is made for. So without any further ado, let's get into the beautiful palette we're going to be using today. I'm going to be using the Nars Man Ray palette. This was a limited edition, and to be honest with you, I haven't given it enough love, and I really would like to correct that because I mean the color story is so special and different to anything I have in my collection, and it's nice every now and then to get out of your comfort zone, which is what I'm trying to do. So again, I know sometimes YouTubers say, yeah, well, I don't use this palette because it's limited edition, you guys can't get it. But to be honest with you, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to share a moment with you, to show you how I do my makeup, how I play around with makeup, so that you can see that anyone can just get better at makeup and do lovely things with it. I'm not professionally trained. I do not pretend to be professionally trained. I will never be because I've never been. I just learned by trial and error and by just playing around with my stuff. So I have a huge obsession with makeup, as you can see from my collection on the back, but still, I mean, I'm not a professional. I just learned by trying and playing around with everything in my collection. And the idea is that if you do like this look, then you just should look into your collection for anything that, remotely comes close to it and try and reproduce it more or less. I mean, it doesn't have to be precisely and exactly those shades, The whole idea is there to, try and inspire you to go a bit out of your comfort zone. So, without further ado, I have the JH32, which is from the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill collection in my hands. And I'm going to start with the very lightest shade at the top there. And I'm just going to kind of set my lid, so to speak. Like I'm just going to brush that all over the lid from top to bottom, because this is kind of like also my highlight shade, kind of. I mean, we're gonna put some highlight, proper highlight on top of it, but I mean, it does help to lay down a very clean and nice base for the look we're going to do. So that's just it. Very simple, very easy. I'm gonna take the second darker shade, second lighter shade there. Don't know if these colors actually have names, do they? Oh yeah, they do. The first one was Lady Killer and the second one is Dominant. Very sexy names as usual, Mr. Nars. I wish I wasn't on a buying ban at the moment, because speaking about Nars, they have the 25 years collection from like the lipsticks and everything, and it's driving me bananas because they look so beautiful. I wish I could get my hands on them. It's just right now I'm trying to be nice and reasonable. So without going any further, I'm still using Dominant on my crease. I'm basically just kind of laying a bit of definition into my eye, because today we're gonna go a bit cool toned and I kind of want to leave a little bit of a warmer base on the crease, just to kind of you know, balance it out. So I'm still using the exact same brush. Now I'm gonna go with the shade Your Move, which is kind of this browny yellowy shade, which I think it's quite interesting, to be honest. So we're gonna put that on the crease. Again, I haven't changed brushes because I'm going from lighter to darker, and that should still be okay. So I'm just placing it on the crease, trying to really keep it tamed and into the crease, not bringing it too high. And I'm just basically kind of going back and forth with my brush. I'm just thinking, actually, as usual, did my base first. I hope these shadows don't have any fallout, because if they do, they're gonna mess up my makeup underneath. But hey, my own fault, right? We find a solution if that happens. But still, it would be lovely if they just didn't have any fallout, which for now they don't seem to have. So maybe we've been lucky there. Again, keeping it on the crease. Nothing major, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As you know, the better you blend, the better your look is gonna end up being. So make sure you blend everything out. Again, taking some of that color again and just kind of patting it in to intensify. All right, I think I'm happy enough with that. Okay, so it actually brought in quite a lot of depth. Right, so now I want to take a smaller brush, smaller blending brush, such as, can I find my lovely little brush? Yes, I did. It's the JH40. I should know the number of that brush by now, because I mean, I'm obsessed with it since I bought it, since I got it in that Jaclyn Hill X Morphe kit. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to use this kind of army green, which is called Submissive, in here, into this smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna place it in the corner and really just try and keep it as close as possible to the outer corner. Gee, this is really pigmented. So again, outer corner of the eye, placing it in and coming up to 1/3 of the eye in the crease. For now, I'm just placing the color, and then I go back in with the brush without any other product and just clean it out. Oh, a tiny bit of fallout from the dark green color. So now I'm still using the same brush, and I'm going to blend the edges. I'm really trying to keep it tamed and placed. I don't want it to go too far into the crease, and I don't want it to go too high. So I'm kind of like keeping it exactly where I placed it. I just want to make sure that the shade is blending into whatever I had underneath. And to help do that without bringing it too high, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that yellow, a brownie Your Move shade, and I'm going to use it on the outer part to kind of blend the green, kind of help it, you know, mix in with the rest. I'm liking that. What do you guys think? It's kind of out there, right? It doesn't look like anything I've ever done before. Now I'm just taking a clean brush. This place is the Luxe Soft Definer from Zoeva. It's clean, I have nothing on it, and I just want to finish blending it out. Okay, that's good. Now I'm taking a flat smudger brush. This is the smudger brush from Sephora. It's just that this is a limited edition, but they do have that brush, just not in this blue color, and it's the number 236 if you're looking for it. Taking again that green shade, which is called Submissive, once again, I'm bringing it into my lower lash line. Again, I'm keeping it on the outside of the eye, no further than 1/3 of the eye, even a bit less. I just want to make sure that it's kind of like really intense and dark right there. This is really looking kind of cool. Okay, same smudger brush, and I'm going to be using that dark green over here that is called Momentum. Yes, Momentum. Putting it on both sides and using it to place a bit of it just in the corner. Like, I'm really not smudging it around, just placing it. Taking some more. Bringing it in just in the crease, nowhere else. Tiny bit again, taking another clean brush. It's the 231 from Zoeva. It's the Luxe Petite crease, and blending that green very slightly, like really slightly. I'm hardly touching it. Again, taking a fluffy brush, cleaning up a bit of fallout. Yeah, I'm liking that. So this is kind of like, for now, we've been using kind of like the army green tones. So now we're going to be placing, I'm actually going to be using this. This is a smudger brush as well. but I'm gonna be using to place some color because it's like a flat brush, but it's just I'm sorry. Ooh, I think I just swallowed the wrong way. Ooh, okay. Let's try and not die. And I'm gonna be using Dirty Talk, which is like this kind of really cool toned champagne color. And I'm gonna be placing it all over the lid. I mean, you can do this with a normal flat brush. I just think that because I want to be precise with my placement, it's nice to have a shorter brush. Good. I do like that. I'm liking that quite a lot. So now I'm going back to my very small, the JH41 brush. I'm not adding any extra product. I'm just making sure that the green, like kind of like almost tapping onto the green shade, so that I make sure that it really blends in nicely with the champagne shade. Right. Okay, now I want another small brush because I want to make sure that I place, this is like a, I think it's a lip brush from one of the random Morphe kits that I got. So something really small. And what I want to do is add another color, such as this color here, which is called Play Me, which is kind of like this brown color, onto the outer corner of the eye, just on top, just slightly on top. Don't put too much product, just a tiny bit to kind of brown it out. A tiny bit. Uh-oh, fall out again. Oh. Just a tiny little bit. I'm not quite at the middle of the eye. I'm just like really on the outside, just bit where those champagne and green colors meet. That's where I placed that brown. Okay, now, last but not least, I'm gonna be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye pencil brush to put some of that aubergine Bordeaux, which is called Blind Date, here. Taking it on a pencil brush, I'm going to be adding it on my lower lash line. I hope you guys can see that. So I'm basically just going from the, like I'm leaving the inner corner, the inner third of the eye empty, but I'm basically bringing that Bordeaux color back into the green. Kind of going back and forth, making sure it's like almost similar. Okay, good. Now, I'm just gonna wipe clean the pencil brush with a cotton bud, like a cotton pad, and I'm going to try I'm actually hesitating here. Should I try? Using the other side to kind of smudge it out, because it's kind of like you needed a bit of blending. Oh, this is kind of cool. I know. We're going to be using the Rendezvous shade as a highlight, which is like really warmer. And I'm using a MAC 219, which is like a pencil brush, into that Rendezvous shade, which is kind of like peachy. And I'm going to be using that as an inner corner highlight, which is basically going to connect that very cool tone, champagne tone that I have right now, with that aubergine color. How do you guys like that? I'm liking this quite a lot, right? And it's kind of autumnal. I can't speak. Anyhow, so yeah, that's me done, I think. Yeah, I'm liking that. I will put some liner on though. I do feel like putting in some liner, and because I have a dark green one, why not? This is the Kat Von D ink liner in Bukowski, which I'm going to be using with this look. I think it will look quite nice. I just leave you to see how I'm applying it on this eye, and on the other I'll explain my logic or my method or whatever you want to call it. Right, I think that's good. Okay, so how do I apply liner to try and make it as easy as possible? First, you shake it well. Secondly, you slightly pull on your eye, slightly, be gentle with your eye area. It's really sensitive. And then I basically just lay the liner against my eyelid. And little by little, I just build up the line. Okay, that's my line done. Now, once the line is done, you basically imagine there is a line coming down from your lower lash line up into the external part of your eyebrow, and just go ahead and mark it, and then from the outside you come down to the corner of your eye and kind of make both lines meet. After that, you just have to basically fill it in. That's all there is to it. Starts very thin, and make it larger if you need to. That's all done. Okay, that's liner. Then I want something in my inner eye. And what I would like, if I can find it, is, yes, it's here. It's my Marc Jacobs Fine Wine liner. I'm gonna be using this in the waterline. Sorry for not speaking there for a while, but I don't know about you, but when you're doing your waterline, I just find it impossible to speak. Because I feel like if I speak, then I end up just stabbing my eye out, which is not ideal or advisable to do. So I'm happy with that. Now that I'm done, I want quite a full lash, so I'm going to go for my Nars Climax mascara. There you go. Up. Okay, I'm pretty much a natural lash kind of gal. Like, I mean, I don't put tons of mascara on. I want them to be nice and black and full if possible and everything, but I don't want them to be like super dramatic. Like I mean, it's just okay. Just leave it like that. Okay, I think that's more or less it for the eyes. I would like, if I can find my brush, there you go, to make sure that my eyebrows are properly combed. Like what I tend to do is like first I just put them up with the clean brush, and then I go back in with a tiny bit of black powder exactly where I need it and if I feel the need to. And I always tend to like putting a tiny bit more just at the top here and a tiny bit more just right here. But as you may know by now, if you watch several of my videos, I hardly do anything to my brows. I don't like to mess around with them because they're already so black on their own. If I start putting stuff on them, they just go crazy looking. So if all you were interested in was the eyes, then you can just switch out now. Now I'm basically going to go for the face, and I'm going to start with highlight for once. And I'm going to be using the Dior Skin Nude Luminizer in 001 with a oh, there we go. I was looking for this brush. Oh no, that's not the one. This is the one I was looking for. The Chicuhodo one. This is the one I really enjoy using with this particular highlight. So I'm just going to go to town with a highlight. Again, as I said before, I always bring whatever's left on my brush to my brow bone. So that it looks nice and coherent and blends in nicely together. Being quite liberal with this. I'm actually even bringing it down a tiny bit on my cheeks. That is done. Now taking in my Chicuhodo blush brush, just putting that back there. There you go. I'm going to be using, I need something quite neutral and cool toned. Oh, I know, Nars Man. This is Amour, Orgasm, Taj Mahal. Jesus, that's the thing with Lovejoy. And this should be Nars Man. It's the last one. There you go. Murphy's Law. You obviously only grab the very last one. So this is Nars Man, and it looks like this. So it's a very cool toned, almost purpley kind of shade. I'm going subtle enough with the blush. Oh, nice. We just lost the light there. Well, technology for you guys. That's all there is to it. We'll have to finish off like this. So I applied the brush, and what I need to do now is I'm grabbing, tickling me, I always do this. Like when I'm putting my makeup on, I always end up being really ticklish, which is annoying. There you go. And I just use that to kind of blend it in nicely, using my trusty and very old and tired Dior powder face brush to apply some bronzer. And just for the sake of using something else and getting out of my comfort zone, I'm going to be using the Guerlain Terracotta, and the color is 03 Naturel on brunettes. So it looks like this. It's kind of like a nice warm tone blush, bronzer, sorry. I'm using kind of like a warm tone, just kind of bring some warmth to the face to kind of balance out all these cool tones that we have going on the eyes. Oh, I love the smell of these. I know a lot of people now are quite against smells and products and things like that, but this is so iconic to me. It's kind of like this old makeup-y kind of smell. I love it. I find it really elegant. It reminds me of, you know, these old ladies that would apply makeup with such a, I don't know, I just like it. Right, I'm trying to find out what kind of lip we should go for. I think something quite cool toned and nudie. How about this? Would that go? Either that or something like Love You Back. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. Love You Back from MAC. I like that. I hope you do too. So guys, this is me. This is me finished and done. For tonight's little party, we actually have a bit of a night out for a friend's birthday. Gonna be layering it with At Me from the Zoella X ColourPop collection. This is an ultra matte lip. Yeah, that is better. It has that tiny little bit more color, because otherwise I was looking quite dead on the lips. So that is perfectly fine. So guys, thank you very much for sticking with me again. I hope you enjoyed this little look and that you will try and reproduce it if you fancy. Why not? So as I was saying today, we're just going out for a friend's birthday and I just fancied something a bit different and definitely using something that hasn't been giving enough attention as this palette from Nars, which is really beautiful. As you could see, like, those colors are not the normal colors that I go for, but hey, I kind of like it. It changes a bit. It, you know, adds a bit of a change to the routine. So I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully you would subscribe and give me a little like in my video and hang out with me again. Mwah!